Everybody ready?
Ready?
All right, it is 7 o'clock, and I'm going to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Can we start with a roll call?
Alberto Paratori.
Aziz Hassan.
Norma Drummond?
Rocco Limatone.
Art Mahoney.
Thank you. Can I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, just a couple comments. Our next two meetings are going to be April 28th and May 26th. There is going to be no action on item number 2 this evening. The applicant still has to work with the planning board and the lead agency notice and all the rest of it, so there's just it's just not ready for any action by us tonight.
Appeal number, item number 2?
Item number 2.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to make sure.
All right, and then we have one set of minutes to approve, not a thing to amend, in my opinion. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes from our meeting of February 24th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So once again, Julie, thank you. Your minutes really are really good. All right, so the order of business tonight. We start with public hearings. Those are applications that this board has already had an opportunity to review. And now we are looking for any comments from neighbors that we should be aware of. So we have one public hearing this evening, and then we have, the rest of the evening is going to be discussions. So there's going to be no discussion at all on item number 2, but 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all actually brand-new applications. So we're going to be looking at them for the first time. And then, we'll have a chance to work through what it is you're looking for, because each application that's here, that comes to this board, is something that is not allowed by code, and so you're asking for this board to consider some kind of variance to it or some kind of appeal. So, with that being said, item number 1, Appeal 4153, John Palasko, 28 Sassafras Circle, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 10-foot rear line variance for a proposed 12-foot by 18-foot or 216-square-foot shed pursuant to Section 194-107 of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Plasko, just come on up. All right, so last month we had the opportunity to go through your application with you. You live in the Four Corners subdivision. You are looking for a 12-foot by 18-foot shed, so a not overly large shed. This is Four Corners, has smaller lots than most of the rest of town, so, and pretty much putting anything in your backyard probably needs a variance. We all recognize that just because of the nature of the subdivision. The shed that you're proposing is going to match your house based on what you told us last month. You told us that your neighbor who would be most impacted, that they have some trees by their deck, but that they probably still will be able to see the shed, but that you've spoken with them. So, unless they're here this evening or sent a letter, we didn't get any letters on your application. We'll see if they have any comments otherwise. So are there any comments or questions from board members?
I'm good.
One last thing, you do have HOA approval. So
Yes.
your homeowners association has already looked at this.
Contingent on your approval.
Right, so they've given you approval contingent on this board's
Correct.
approval. Okay. And the property to the rear is HOA property? Is that open space or?
It's woods,
Right.
and then a service road, and then more woods, and then the East Fishkill Creek, and then
Yeah.
more woods.
So nobody's going to be behind you that would be impacted by it?
Correct.
So the neighbor, what we talked about last month, the neighbor to your side is the most impacted?
Yeah, but it's not, it's within the guidelines for him.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
from, yeah.
All right, so no comments or questions from board members. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against the request from John Palasko, 28 Sassafras Circle, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 10-foot rear line variance for a proposed 12-foot by 18-foot or 216-square-foot shed? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is appeal number 4153, resolution offered by zoning board member Aziz Hassan, whereas the applicant seeks to construct a 12 feet by 18 feet 216-square-foot detached shed in the rear yard of his property, and whereas the rear of the property abuts Four Corners HOA property, so the shed will not have a visual impact on the neighbors, and whereas the HOA has already indicated its approval of the proposal, and whereas this is a type 2 action under SECRA, and whereas a legal notice of the public hearing was duly published in Southern Dutchess News on March 18, 2026, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on March 24, 2026, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, as the proposed shed is a typical accessory structure commonly associated with residential properties. The desired result cannot be achieved by any other means due to the layout and size of the property, given it is in the Four Corners community. The variance is not substantial in nature and relates only to a small accessory structure. The variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request of John Polasco for a 10-foot rear line variance from the requirement of section 194-107 of the Town Code and the Schedule of Bulk Regulations for a proposed 12 feet by 18 feet, 260 square foot shed. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or the duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
Votes as follows: Aziz.
Aye.
Rocco.
Aye.
Alberto.
Aye.
Art.
Aye.
And myself, aye. So your motion carries. Now you just deal with the building department.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. All right, as I said previously, there's not going to be any action on item number 2, so we're going to jump right to item number 3. So this is not a public hearing, this is a review only, the first time we're looking at this application. So item number 3, Appeal 4154, Linda Castells, 199 East Hook Road, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 20-foot sideline variance for an existing 17-foot by 20-foot or 340-square-foot deck, and a 20-foot sideline variance for an existing 12-foot by 12-foot or 144-square-foot gazebo pursuant to Section 194-95 in the Schedule of Bulk Regulations. Good evening.
Hello.
So again, first time we're seeing this. My understanding is the gazebo is actually on top of the deck, right? Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us who constructed the deck? Did you do it? I don't know how long you've owned this house or anything like that.
Oh, sure. We've owned it for 13 years, since April of 2013.
Okay, and so this floating
13
deck
years.
was built spring of 2014.
Yes,
And by floating, we don't mean it's in the water, we just mean it's not attached to any other structure.
correct.
Okay. And so it was put in this location because you wrote that the contractor had recommended placement due to a septic system located on the other side.
Yes,
Okay. And so instead of being the 25 feet, it is 5 feet away from the property line?
the farmer's property, yes.
What's your neighbor? The farm?
Fishkill Farms?
Oh, okay, all right.
Is it Fishkill Farms or Farmer Wright? Yeah, not Fishkill Farms. It's a private farm.
Okay.
It's not a farm, it's woods, all woods.
Well, it's woods, but it's,
But it's part of a farm property?
yeah,
Okay, all right.
yes.
That's behind you, or that's to the side that this is
He's to
on?
the side.
You
of
can
the
come
deck.
up to the microphone if you'd like, sure, no problem. Just do me a favor, at some point, make sure you write down your names so that we'll know.
Yeah.
I could do
So
that.
just so the minutes reflect who's talking to us.
It's on the right, the field,
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
I'm looking at. So if your driveway is here to the right, because that's the side that's got the deck. Okay. Is there any screening on your
All
property?
trees.
It's all properties on that?
trees,
Okay.
And the back of the house, all pine trees, about
Okay.
50 feet, and then all around us is all trees. And it's set
Okay.
way in the back, like, did she send you a picture? You sent a picture?
Okay, I'm trying to understand, When you talk about a floating deck, it's not
It
attached,
just means it's not attached to.
It's like a
It's
platform.
not attached to the house.
It's a platform.
It's just yeah, it's like a platform.
Yeah, platform.
Slide it one way or the other.
Well, not that they can,
It's a little
no,
heavy
it's
to
not
slide.
footings, it's in place.
Yeah, it's a
just
foot
not-
off the ground all around, like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like think of it like a platform as opposed to being attached to the house.
Okay, that's what I
Normally,
was
a deck
saying.
would be attached to a house, okay?
yeah, I was just trying to figure, okay. And then it has a gazebo on top of it.
Yeah, it's movable, yeah.
The gazebo is,
Yeah, it's movable, yeah, yeah.
but you'd like to keep it. So why are you in now? What brought this application in now?
Because we hired, or your fault, you tell them.
So we got a letter in the mail on Thanksgiving
Okay,
to start the process to get a permit.
But her father hired someone in 2013. He passed. We put the project on hold. The next year, we paid the guy in full. He'd take care of everything, and here we are.
okay. So
So-
you hired a contractor
Yeah.
thinking that he was handling
Yeah,
all the
we put
paperwork.
a pool, everything, right? You know?
Did they actually pull the permit, and that's how we know it's still an open permit? No.
No, there was no permit for the deck.
Well, they're building a house down the block, so maybe the inspector sort of, because it's like a gazebo, so.
Okay, all right. So let's just clean it up.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and if it's been there since 2014, it's
Yeah,
been there
yeah,
for 12
it's
years.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Never an issue till now.
Was this any kind of complaint, Matt, or
Yes,
there was a neighbor that complained?
correct.
Oh,
Oh, it's like.
no, don't.
No, it's in
But
the
just
middle
that
of
it's
nowhere
there,
like
or
this.
that it's there without a permit?
That it's there and the setbacks and,
Okay,
you know, whether there
All
was a
right.
permit. When we investigated, that's
okay.
why she got a
That's
letter.
fine, no problem. So it is how far off the ground?
A foot, all around.
Okay.
I could fill up the dirt and make it even level. You wouldn't even see it. All the sides, if
You
that
could-
was.
You could raise the ground up to it?
Yeah, I could put dirt all around, because if you look at the picture, like when you walk
Yeah, but
down the
that
hill,
doesn't make it a patio, right?
when you walk down the hill, you walk right into it from the grass.
It's got tracks and a railing, even though it's only a foot off the ground. You want to see the,
Yeah, if you have pictures, yeah, because we
have
have nothing here
pictures.
but the survey.
I thought you sent pictures.
I did.
All right, so.
They could be with our clerk is on vacation, so.
I mean, when you walk down the hill, you walk right into it, because it's level.
So is your backyard sloped at all?
Yeah, like you walk down, and then the three sides, like, the back's a little high, like 20 inches.
You're walking, when you walk down, you're walking down from the house, or you're walking
well,
down from the back of the property?
Well, the front of the house, you're walking down to it.
Okay, all
It's
right.
like 200 feet from the street, like, set.
Okay.
I mean, she
And it's
told...
behind garages, so I don't know how somebody would even have
It's,
really
you
seen.
don't even see it. It's like so buried in the woods. Like, it's not buried, but it's all...
Is that?
She even told the inspector she'd take it down. We paid to put that up, too. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like essentially ground level. With the snow, it looks like it is ground level.
Yeah, it's less than a
Okay.
foot, less than a foot.
Well, with the footing, this one side looks like it's more than a foot.
Well, the back's higher. Can I see that?
This backside looks more like it's, which is why you have a railing on that side, because it looks like it's more than 18 inches.
The land goes down.
Screw it in.
It's very nice.
technically have to have a railing until it's 30.
I got one of them too.
Okay, just do me a favor, go back to the microphone, please. Thank you. Very nice. Just share with Art. We got it.
You got it, okay.
You can send that back to Matt when we're done. All right, any comments or questions from board members?
So the pool has already been installed and with the permit and everything?
Yeah.
So this is the only issue outstanding?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable request. Yeah, I don't see an issue here.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, this one shows that no, here, this one shows the
One side is
one side is a
shows
little bit
5
lower.
feet.
But otherwise, it's pretty flush to the ground. So, yeah, I don't see an issue.
How about other members, any comments or questions?
Yeah, we're looking at 5 feet from the line here.
Yeah,
On the
that's
deck,
the issue.
that's-
It's
yeah.
closer to the property than it should be, but if he's got a septic system in the back where there's
Yeah.
probably the
On the
fields are
opposite
there,
side. That's why he put it on that
and then
side.
you've got a slope that you've got to deal with as
Yeah,
well. So-
yeah.
So even if one end of the deck ends up being how much it's built up to 18 inches at least on the one side, but you said
Well,
the
the
other
back of
side.
it, all sides, one side you walk right in, the two sides are less than a foot.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
and then the
so
back,
In the space of the 12 feet, you're talking about a grade difference of 18, at least 18 inches.
I could, if I had to, I could have built it up with dirt, you know. I was gonna do that, like all around, like.
All right, motion for public hearing?
Motion to advertise.
Hold on, I got a question.
Oh, no, okay.
One of the pictures it showed, there's another structure behind the deck?
Okay, there's no other structure. Can I see?
Is it the?
That's a gazebo, is that?
Can I come up,
Did
let's
you
look at it?
notice another structure?
There's two gazebos, but one is a structure that's undersized, so we don't need any permits for that one.
Okay.
And that meets the setbacks because it's closer to the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't see.
That might be what you're seeing, right? There's two gazebos?
Yeah, but I can't
Oh,
see.
so it's the one in the back, all the way in the back is the one we're talking about?
There's a gazebo on the deck.
Right.
And that gazebo and the deck are too close to the property line.
Yeah, the one in the
There's
back.
another gazebo closer to the house.
Oh, so
closer to the-
that one's okay?
Closer to
Okay.
East Hook Road, that one's okay.
Okay.
Doesn't need a permit.
Because it wasn't on the,
Okay,
it's not on the drawing, okay.
Yeah.
all right. Now,
Oh, motion to advertise?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So if you see Matt, he's going to give you your instructions for your public hearing, for your sign, okay? You have to put a sign up, and then we'll see you next month for a public hearing. What we'll do is we're going to notice your neighbors, and then if they have any comments or issues, then we'll find out about them then.
All right, thank
Okay?
you.
All right, item number 4. Appeal 4156, Brendan Hafeman, thank you. 17 Flanders Road, Wappingers Falls, requesting variances for a proposed detached garage in the front yard, a 5-foot front line, 15-foot sideline, and a 394-square-foot size variance for a proposed 30-foot by 40-foot or 1,200-square-foot detached garage pursuant to Section 194-107 and the Schedule of Bulk Regulations. The footprint of the existing house is 1,344 square feet. Good evening. So if you don't mind, take us through your request. Why are you looking for a structure? Why are you looking for a structure of this size? What's it going to look like? Why does it need to be here? Okay?
So basically, I have 7 vehicles that are registered and insured in me and my wife's name. 4 of them are classic cars that don't get driven very often. Basically, I currently have a 3-car garage, and I have 4 cars that don't have a place to be put in the garage. I also have a company vehicle that I drive during the week, so basically I don't drive my cars during the week because I'm in the company vehicle. So to keep them, nice and new would be my interest. I picked the front yard because there's an elevation change next to, at the end of my driveway now, that's like a 4-foot grade change. And I think that, putting it there would be, I'd have to move a lot of dirt and it'd be very cost height. I put it in the front yard basically because it's away from most of my neighbors. If you drive down my road, I'm the first house on a dead end, and my house is basically, the property is surrounded by trees. So when you pull down the neighborhood, you get to, it's called Carty Court, which is a left-hand turn, and then basically it's my property, and then there's 2 other houses on the end of it. So you don't really see, you can't see my house from the road in the spring and summertime because it's covered by foliage, and I just feel like it's it's out of the way. It gives me the room I need. I don't have to have it right next to my house. If you look at my survey, you can see that more than half of my property is in my front yard. My backyard is fenced in for my kids and my dogs. I have 2 little girls that are outside all the time with me, and basically that's just my view on it.
So you have the fortune or misfortune of the fact that I live right around the corner from you.
Okay.
I'm on Brandy, so
Oh, okay.
so I walk all the time.
Okay.
Down Flanders and down in that area. So I've been by here multiple
Okay.
times. Flanders is a wide open area up until you get to the pond, okay? Until you get to the, and there's, I agree with you, like your house and the house next to you are lined with trees, both sides. People on that street have very nice, they have detached garages,
Correct.
multiple on both sides of the street. Totally agree with you. They match their homes, all right? You have a shed that's only 5 feet 7 inches from the property in your backyard?
Correct.
That doesn't match the property, that doesn't match your house. It's a
Okay.
different, it's a different
A different color, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and it's also too close to the property line. And I noticed, yeah, you have 3-car garage, including one door that's taller than the other, so it's, you know.
It's still only 7 feet tall inside. Basically, that used to be an old porch, and when I bought the house, we converted underneath the porch into the garage, and then finished the
okay.
porch into, basically, it's our dining room now.
Okay, so again, all of this I can see from the road.
Yeah.
I have not driven down your driveway by any means, so
Yeah.
I saw your company vehicle, all
Okay.
right, which you park at the end of the driveway, so, yeah, I have the ability to be able to spend some time walking around the area and see.
That's fine, I'm glad you're
So
familiar.
again, the character of the neighborhood allows for detached garages behind the homes.
I understand that, yes.
And so that's why my first question is, why does it need to be really in the front yard? Because this gives the impression that it's a significant distance, and it really isn't. So, plus you have 3-car garage already, so, and I get it, you've filled in under the deck, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and you've explained that you've got classic cars, but what is this going to look like? What's this structure going to look like?
It's gonna look like a 3-car garage, it's gonna be 3 doors. I have some pictures of other buildings that the company has built that I could show you.
Well, but I'm saying, is it going to look
no.
like your house?
Yeah, no, so it's gonna be the same, basically as close to a color scheme of my house that I can get with the company that they have.
So it's going to be a wood-framed built structure?
It is a wood-framed built structure. It is metal sided and metal roofed. It has 1-foot overhang eaves all the way around.
Metal sided? Your house is not metal sided.
Okay, yeah. It's not, I'm same color scheme is what I'm referring to as but I mean, it looks like a residential house. It's not or a residential
And
garage.
that's part of the issue, 1,200 square feet. The footprint of your house is 1,344.
Well, I mean, a pickup truck is 23 feet long, to put that in a garage and then walk around it or open the doors. A pickup truck is also over 7 feet tall. I can't park it in my house or in the garage at my house now. So basically, I would like to build a building to be able to put the classic cars in, put my pickup truck in, and then I also would like to have a lift in there in order for me to work on my vehicles.
So how tall is this going to be?
The building itself, I believe, is 16 feet tall. The interior height is 12'6".
So that's going to be sufficient for a lift? Wouldn't you normally need like 14 feet for a lift?
The top of the lift is 12'4", and the interior height will be 12'6", and that's all you need.
Isn't it possible to bring it closer to your house somehow? Because it's way out there by the,
It's possible. How much closer would you want it to my house?
It's not up to us to-
Well, I'm saying the only thing is, so I live next door to my in-laws, who've lived on the road for almost 30 years now. And I'm just trying to keep it away from their house also. Having it that far forward, keeping the garage away from their house as well was part of my intention.
How far is it from the house?
I think it's 80
If it's
feet.
45 feet from the road, this measurement, it's
yeah, it's
only-
quite a distance. It's
It's
40, it's like,
I think it's like
close- over 100
it's probably
feet.
120 feet from the house? Maybe not 120, maybe at
I
least
think
100.
it's around 80 to 90, I want to say.
That's
No, more than-
45, that's
no.
45, 40, that's 90. It's at least 100 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the measurements.
Yeah, probably a little.
Where's your septic?
In the front.
It's in the front.
Like directly in front of the house.
There's a septic right
And why can't you put this in the backyard?
So I have my well, in the spot where I would put it, I have my well there. when we added the garage, when I bought the house, we reran the line from the well to the house. That might have to be redone if I did do that there. The added cost of moving, all that dirt from 4 feet of height of fill and getting rid
Yeah,
of
your
that.
backyard does go up.
Yeah,
so-
so to do all that, and then I still would need, if I wanted to put a 30, even if I made it smaller, I would still like the width of 30 feet. If I did it 30 feet wide, I'd still need a pretty sizable side yard variance, because I wouldn't, have space between my house and the garage, and then the building, and then the building to the property line would still be probably, there's 42 feet there, so if I gave myself 6 feet to get a lawnmower from the backyard to the front yard, where the garage would be, then you'd have 30 feet wide, and then I'd still need a 6-foot, it would be 6 feet off the property line.
How many bays is this garage proposed to be?
It was gonna be 3.
So you already have a 3-car garage, and you're looking to add 3 additional garages.
Yeah, I have 7 vehicles that are registered and insured.
Where's the current 3-car garage?
Under the house, on the left side at the top of the driveway.
So the side property is 35 feet? Am I reading that right? Yeah.
Side property.
Side property, to the left of the house,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
where it says chain link fence. So that's all
Yes.
open area there. Why wouldn't you want to put it there? Just curious.
Where my driveway is?
No, the
No,
other
the other
side.
side.
The other side, because of
Your
the
in-law
septic.
side.
The septic and having to drive over and then next to it, but I'd still be, if it's 35 feet from the house to the garage, I still need like a sizable setback to get over there. I didn't
Yeah,
think
you would, but then it's in line with your house. It just looks
that,
like
and
you have a
so the
very
grade
large
also,
house.
so probably, from the corner of the house to that property line, the grade drops off pretty significantly.
So then you could dig a pit as opposed to having a lift. No, I'm being serious.
I'm pretty sure those are outlawed, I thought.
Oh, I'm not a car person. I like
was
to get
looking at
in,
that.
push a button and go, so I'm admitting that right now.
Are there any small sheds in the backyard now?
There's,
one shed.
Just my one shed, correct?
Just the one shed?
Yes.
that doesn't meet any zoning requirements. Is you going to move this shed, or are you going to?
I
Back in
think,
'93, they got variances for 2
Oh, it did? Okay, so that
two
one's
other
okay.
sheds on the property, but not the one that's there now.
Oh,
So that one being 5 foot 7 inches.
Right.
We're going to have to clean that up, too.
yeah, so this needs a 10-foot sideline variance.
okay.
Have you spoken with your neighbors about this?
About the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And?
They're not very happy. Well, my in-laws, they'll support me because I'm their son-in-law. My other neighbors, they're not very happy with it. They kind of harassed me a little bit about it, to be honest with you. They're here tonight. They would love to probably tell you all the terrible things about me. But, basically they don't like the idea of having it in the front yard, which I understand. It's kind of out of normalness, and I understand that, but, I have my hobbies and my interests, and I still feel that, my property has enough space that it's not going to, ruin the look of my house or my property. And then, again, putting it in the backyard, just I feel like the cost and, dealing with drainage and things like that, having to have like a wall around the garage, or, if I changed the style of building, so I'm looking to build a pole barn. If I did like a normal foundation style,
Okay, hold on. You just said before it was a frame structure. Now you're telling me it's a pole barn.
well, it's a wood
So
frame
it's-
structure.
So it's not really a finished garage.
It would be, yeah.
Well, it says pole barn on there.
I mean, I could show you pictures of what,
Please, I'd like to see what this is going to look like. I mean, I'm making it clear, and I've made it clear before, I am not in favor of garages and front yards. So I'm not, I'm not stating something I haven't said before.
something along these lines. You wouldn't be able to tell what it is until,
You can tell what that is.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, it doesn't look irregular, it doesn't look like a pole barn, it looks like a garage.
Al, see that one, please? And then
Yeah, I mean, I think, there need to be a site visit to see if he has alternatives, because, I really, I don't see much hardship in this application to put it so much in the front. A little bit, I could see a little bit, for some reason, but I don't see any reason why it needs to be so far in front of the house and by the road.
Well, I just thought that you also have to have like room for septic replacement. So like if my septic system failed now, you'd have to, basically add it to in front of that. And I thought you had to leave yourself room in order for that kind of situation.
It's called 100% expansion area for your
Yeah.
septic, yes. So where is all I see is 1S. It doesn't tell me where usually your survey should show where the fields are.
Okay.
So it shows a septic area, so we would know to stay out of that area.
Or the expansion area also.
Yeah, it's true. It would also show an expansion area. When is this survey from?
January.
Yeah, January 10th of 20.
They should be able to put your survey, they should be able to tell you where your septic is,
Okay.
and then where they would say 100% expansion area should be.
Okay.
And then that tells us if you can have
Get
room
closer
to move
to
your
the
shed
house.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But move the garage back, sorry.
I would rather see it closer to the house or attached to the house. It's way
I
out
think
there.
the ideal would be having it attached to the house. but
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking on that side.
Since you've got the room,
We can give you a variance for the attached next to the house.
again, with taking the neighbors'
Yeah, looking at the neighbor's
concerns
situation.
into consideration, but you fill that up with trees, they probably would rather see a solid wall there, because it would also likely
What
block
side-
more
on,
noise. The side of the garage. If you put it up at the top of your driveway,
I'm saying,
The septic field, so that's what he was saying. before.
no, that would be if it's in the front yard, but if you put the garage in the back,
The 35-foot area.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like where the shed is, Rocco?
Where the shed is, yeah.
Either on the shed side or the opposite side, there are all of these places available.
You just attach it right to the house. Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, look like a big house, so. Okay, I think we need to have a site, I would suggest a site visit or something, but this is not sufficient at this point.
All right, so we need your survey updated with
Okay.
information about where the septic is located, where the fields are, and
Okay.
the 100%, the expansion area.
yep.
And then you need to explore whether you've got other options right now, because I'm not seeing that you have even enough support to moving forward to a public hearing.
Okay.
Okay, to hear any concerns that your neighbors might
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Because you have options.
Okay.
All right, and so for the fact that you're even asking for the extra 5 feet, because you're not even 50 feet in, which is the minimum requirement for a structure in the front yard.
Okay.
You don't even have that, you're not even giving us that. when
I mean, I could give you
clearly
that.
got the room.
Like I said, my biggest thing was trying to keep it away from my other neighbor's house, and that's basically the biggest reasoning for it, was trying to keep it away from people's houses, so this way, if I have a car, if I start a car, pull a car in and out of the garage, whatever, I'm not disturbing them. That was really just the 5 feet, we could take it away. It really doesn't matter that much.
Which, sorry.
I'm sorry. Is your neighbor's house set back as far as yours?
Their house is 19 Flanders is, but 15 Flanders is well in front.
Well, in the front. With a bouncy time
Yep.
rental in the vehicle. So where's the driveway going to be? How are you going to get into this garage?
Basically use my existing driveway and then cut across my yard to get into the garage.
And then will you still continue to park that truck that you drive for work on the side?
I wouldn't have to, no. I only park it out there because basically having it in my, back by the house, it kind of congests my garages and I can't get in and out of it now.
All right.
But again, also by the road, the truck noise is limited. I'm not disturbing
Yeah, no,
them when
no,
I
no,
leave, things like that. That's all.
I think I appreciate, and your neighbors would probably appreciate the fact that you did think about things like noise. And as you know, working on vehicles, air hammers and all that other stuff.
Yeah, air compressor, things of those things, yeah.
They all
hammers.
generate noise.
Yep.
And
That's
so
basically my biggest concern.
Is there any commercial use of this, or this is all your private vehicles?
This is private use.
Okay. All right, so get us an update on the survey.
Okay.
And then we'll see you next month, and let's
Okay.
see, but reconsider if you have any other options first.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah.
We'll see you next month.
Thank you, have a good one.
At the appropriate time, you'll get notice that will invite you to a public hearing, if it gets to a public hearing, okay? So, just in case you're wondering where the opportunity for comment is. All right, item number 5, Appeal 4157, Christine Otero, 12 J Lane, Hopewell Junction, requesting an 11-foot sideline variance for an existing 16-foot by 28 or 448 square foot detached garage pursuant to Section 194-107 and the Schedule of Bulk Regulations. Christine, come on up. So first off, your garage it's a detached garage. Yeah, yours is a detached, but it's not in the front yard, right?
No, it's in the backyard.
Okay, let's start with that. All right, so are you on the side of the wetlands and the pond side, or are you on the side of the dentist and the?
I'm on the side of the dentist.
Okay, all right. So both neighbors have similar structures in similar areas due to the slope of the property. The barn garage is existing. Oh, okay, the garage is there. Oh, who put the garage up? Was it there when you bought the property, or did you
No.
put it up? You put it up?
Yes.
Okay, was it done with permits?
No.
Okay. How long has it been there?
Summer 2022 it was built.
So it's almost 4 years. Okay. And so it was put there, why? Does your existing house have a garage?
Yes.
Okay, how many bay garage?
2.
2. And how many
Yes.
bays is this new garage?
This is 1. And it's considered a garage because it has the roll-up doors, but it's really to store outdoor.
Oh, that's this one, okay.
Yes,
All right.
it's
So
really to store outdoor equipment. So
Yeah,
I
it's
have
really
the
more like a
lawnmower in
shed,
there.
and yes.
Yes.
And that's why it's in keeping with the others in the neighborhood. Right.
Right.
So very different. The size of it, 16 by 28. Yeah, it could be, you could fit a vehicle in there, but it's really for household, outdoor household equipment. And so it's in the back of your, J Lane, it's in the back of your property, the back left.
Correct.
And it looks like your neighbor has a garage right there as well,
Yes, that's correct.
just slightly in front, so. Have you spoken with your neighbors about this, or no?
No.
Okay. All right, if you have an opportunity to, between now and April, I think that would be a good, just give them a heads up.
Okay.
All right, comments or questions? What's it going to look like? Oh, it's there. What does
Yes.
it look like?
It
Sorry.
does conform with the house. It has the same color shingles, the same color paint.
Okay. So it matches the existing house?
Okay, my question is, it shows that there's an old lot line. Is it still there? Or is it 2 parcels or 1 parcel?
I didn't even realize that that was there until I had the survey done, but it's a .95 acres. So most of the lots further down are about half the size of my lot. So they must have built it on 2.
Okay, so that has that been addressed?
The
Did we
original.
clean up this?
On parcel access, it's one parcel now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I saw that, and now this survey was done,
January of '26.
02,
so it's still showing 2,
26?
I see.
Yeah, I just
date,
had it.
January 12th, 2026.
yeah, February 26, correct. So it's still showing a lot line.
Showing 2 lots. But that's parcel access.
They can clean that up, though. That's,
Okay, as long as it's
That's
its
not-
address, so I'm okay with that. So motion to advertise?
Second.
But these 2 lots on the subdivision lot,
there's a, Matt, does the pool have a permit?
Yep, everything else is permitted.
So the pool meets the setback requirements?
It did when it was permitted.
14.
It did when it was done?
Conceived, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
because, that was when it was 15-foot
May have
sides?
been shorter.
Okay, all right, because it would
Because
not meet
by
the,
eye, it looks, yeah.
yeah, because if the fence is 14, that
Yeah.
pool,
Might be 15.
well, no, it's a little bit more than that, but it's
Okay.
definitely not 25. All right, motion to advertise, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, so see Matt, he'll give you your information about putting a sign up on your property. All right? Much easier when a garage is not in the front yard.
Where Jackie sits down.
All right, and lastly, item number 6, Appeal 4158, Christopher Scotto, 9 Barrett Drive, Hopewell Junction, requesting an interpretation of a special use permit for a professional in-home office pursuant to Section 194-90. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
So, following all the paperwork that we've gotten on this one, you or your attorney requested, you're looking to get
An FFL.
FFL.
So if I can just start off.
Yes, go ahead.
In the beginning, there was a lot of things that I thought I wanted to do. And as I realized over time of waiting so long to have a hearing with you guys, it's drastically reduced. So
Okay.
there's no gun store as far as display cases or anything like that. The FFL is required, and if you coat any kind of firearm that has a serial number on it, because that part is considered the firearm, you need an FFL 7, which is a manufacturer's, because you're altering the firearm. So if I even paint, Cerakote, powder coat, anything that has a serial number on it, you have to have an FFL 7. Now, where that does give me the legal right to sell or transfer a firearm, that's not what I'm looking to do, but I have to get that FFL 7 in order to do that portion of the business. Gunsmithing, if you want scopes put on, a different barrel put on, if you want something custom built, again, legal, and for whatever state you live in, it has to meet your legal guidelines.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking to do. I don't want an inventory at my house. I have a 6-year-old daughter. I'm not looking for people in and out of my house. I've spoken with the ATF, going over everything that they require. I've gone over everything that New York State requires with the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office for if this does go further and I can have it. And what I was told by them was that I actually exceed more than what New York State requires, as far as security systems, cameras knowing who's coming in and who's coming out, glass breaks, motion sensors, home security throughout the whole entire house. It's 24-hour monitored by the police department, the fire department, and EMS. I've gone through all of this, and I have fireproof safes currently for the business and for my personal. There will be no stockpile of ammunition. There will be no stockpile of guns. If I'm working on one firearm at a time, that's typically what I would be doing. And that firearm would stay in its own separate safe because New York State law says that I cannot have my firearms integrated with the company firearms or a client's firearms.
But can you have multiple clients' firearms in a separate safe? You
Yes.
could.
They would stay in the business safe. They would be tagged with the client's name on them, and they would be logged in as well. So it wouldn't be just I would get anybody's firearm. They would bring it in, I log it into the book, and I log it out when I give it to them. As far as sales, I had written a thing, I actually sent it to Matt, and I let him know that if you want to do a transfer, we have collectors in town. I've dealt with them for years. I bought my first firearm from them. You want to buy something off a gun broker and have it transferred to an FFL and pick it up from there and do all your paperwork? Go to them, by all means. You want to have a custom-built firearm that's going to come to me, and when it's finished, it's going to be transferred to the FFL of your choosing, whether it be here, another state, another county, then you come to me. I don't want an abundance of firearms or things at my house. I don't want traffic at my house. The FFL will give me the ability to have things FedEx to my house. I can work on them, and when they are done, they go back to the FFL.
By FedEx or
By
by
FedEx.
personal meeting? Does anybody come to your house?
No one comes to my house. Now, if somebody needs to pick something up or I need to get something, I can set up an appointment and just let the local police department know, hey, I'm going to pick up this rifle, I'm going to work on it, or I'm going to paint it. I'm going to pick it up in the front. And then they'll tell me yes or no.
At the police station?
At the police station right here. I live 3 minutes away. It's not an inconvenience for me, and if they're willing to drive to me, they're willing to drive there.
Right.
I will pick it up from there. Again, it will be logged into my books because the ATF will need to see that. I've spoken with the ATF agent, Michael, multiple times from about right around Valentine's Day all the way up until 2 days ago. He wanted to know how we were making out with this because they have it on hold.
Where do those with firearms go for this service now?
So right now,
where is the closest service like this?
The close, I mean, you can get a scope put on at collectors, you can get a scope put on at other FFLs or
Oh, okay,
gun
so the
stores.
service already exists
It
in
exists,
town?
yes. And there's already a home-based, which I was given, the real reason was that it does not meet the criteria of a home-based business.
Right.
So out of 19,000
Well, it doesn't
guns-
mean a professional business in your home.
Yes, so out of 19,000 FFLs in New York State, 1,200 to 1,300 of them, which equals out to 69%, are home-based FFLs.
Wait,
That-
of how many? Of
Out of
what's the bigger number?
1,900
Out of 1,900?
At 1,900
Okay.
FFLs, which you need as a gun store, in New York State, 1,300 of them, give or take a little bit, are home-based FFLs.
Okay.
So that goes to show that that more than meets the requirements of a home-based business. Even New York State says it is a home-based business, something that can be, like I said, I don't want a display case. I don't want through traffic. I've spoken with my neighbors, and at first they had the same concerns that everybody else says. Oh, no, I don't want a gun store in a residential neighborhood. Totally get that. I don't want one in there either. My daughter goes to school here. We like it here. We don't want to have to move to if this doesn't pan out. But what I'm looking to do is I spoke with my neighbors. My neighbors at first were a little hesitant. Once I told them this exactly is what I'm doing, they were like, oh, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I
Let me-
would have a
let me
problem if you
ask
had-
a couple questions
Go ahead.
first. All right. So what you talked about in your application was that you would be doing this work in a shed in the backyard,
Cerakoting-
which you said is at least, or your attorney said, is at least 100 feet from your house.
Yes, for the Cerakoting, which is just a portion of the business. It's not going to be the majority of it. Majority will be the cleaning, the scope mounting, barrels, or custom builds. That will be the majority of it. And again, like I
Okay,
said.
but that's where you're using the chemicals, correct?
Yes, and that has 4 large HEPA filters that are connected into the unit. It's just something, I think it's 48 by 24, is this little spray booth that has a fan in it. It goes into the HEPA filters and catches everything. It's
Right.
no more of a chemical imprint than if you were to use can of spray paint from Ace
Okay.
Hardware in town.
But that shed is closer to your property line than it belongs, okay? And that shed is in a floodplain.
Well, the
which
beautiful part
means
about that is
this-
we want to get rid of it, so
What?
we were going to get rid of it and move it closer to the house. So we have a slab that's closer to the house, and we were going to get another shed.
You got to come up to the microphone, please.
Oh, sorry, this is my wife.
How are you? When we purchased the house, we asked FEMA if that was still considered a flood zone, and it's not.
It's not, it's a floodplain.
Okay.
Slightly different. Okay, but a floodplain, you would need a development permit. You need a permit to be able to do anything in a floodplain. Because when the area floods, it needs to have, the water needs to be able to go through that area. So any structures in that area, if there's any kind of chemicals in there, they're going to get, they could potentially get washed into the waterways over
So
there.
that, also that area, since we've been living there with the 2 rainstorms that we have, that area actually does not flood because of the greenhouse that's behind us that they built. The one
Two
area.
storms? Sorry.
Well, no,
Well, we've
we
been there
had,
for 6 years.
we've only been there for 6
We've been
years.
flooded
So,
multiple
yeah.
times in the backyard, and there's never been
Yeah,
any water.
So
We're
the
not the
only
ones that
area-
determine floodplains? Okay.
I'm just saying, so the one area that does flood
Yeah.
is to the left of our house between us and our neighbor and where our fence line is.
Okay.
That's like probably the only area that does flood, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But so we checked on that.
Significant
so
floods
that's-
do occur around here, not that often thankfully, but when they do, the last thing you want is them going through a building that has chemicals on the floor and getting into the water, okay? But that
So what
then
if I-
contaminates groundwater.
What if I remove the Cerakoting aspect of it for right now? And then if
What do
we
you mean
do...
for right now?
Well, the back of our house, if we move the shed closer off of the property line, closer to the house, if we get another shed...
Well, the shed's got to get moved anyway. The
Okay.
shed does not meet the zoning
That's all right.
requirements.
There's some
So
groundhogs
that's-
under there. We were
It's too close
talking
to
about
your
getting
neighbor,
something new.
okay? So, and it's in the floodplain. So there were 2 issues with the shed, so.
Okay.
Hold on, just one more thing. So when we did the closing on the house, if the shed is an issue, like, is that something, like?
Should it have come up? Probably, if
Yeah.
a municipal
So, I
search
mean,
was done.
that shed has
but-
been sitting there. I mean, they had chickens.
Doesn't come up unless there was a site, if they paid for a site visit with the municipal search request.
Okay.
Fence we have a permit on.
No, I know,
But-
but they were out to see the fence, and nobody said anything to
Yeah.
us. We had a fence put
We had
in
the
last
fence
year.
and we had our
and
patio
town
and
came
our
out to
pool
look
deck
at
put
it.
in.
and it's been there the whole entire time. Nobody said anything.
I don't know, I don't even have a survey here, it didn't, I think I saw it.
And there's also...
With whichever Jackie has.
I think if you pull up our parcel and all that stuff, like whatever, it shows, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it shows that the shed was there.
Do you have
I
the
guess when-
application, Matt, with this one?
There isn't an application.
Well, just,
The
I don't
application
have,
is just to get a determination.
There's an application, there's no survey with it?
No.
Jackie showed me something.
I'll check in Jackie's.
Because that's how we saw that the shed was too close to the property line.
where you were coming with that.
But then I have another question. 'Cause
All right,
we're
but
so-
hold on, let's,
Okay.
There's no survey with, you didn't submit a survey
did
with
we,
the application.
did we do
you?
this, did we go online looking for this one? All right, go
I don't
ahead,
know.
next
I don't
question.
know,
Sorry.
Jackie.
So my other question is, if the shed is too close to the property line, our fence is way off of our property line. So we're kind of confused because we've been all going back and forth with this. So our house, our neighbor's house, and the greenhouse behind us, all three surveys don't match. So we've come many times to town here and have asked, like, who do we call and who do we find out? Because if three surveyors are saying three different answers, and our property line and our neighbor's property line with the survey cross paths.
So I'm not saying you want to do this, just the legal
Yeah.
procedure you would do is you actually go and you bring a proceeding in state Supreme Court about that. That's actually that's a procedure. I'm not saying it's something that you're interested in doing or anything, but they're the ones that determine what the boundary lines actually are. We don't determine that.
We're like so confused, like, we love our neighbors.
I mean,
everyone's great in our neighborhood.
If
We're just
some-
like, we don't know.
If it became a title issue and somebody wanted to do something on a piece of property and you think it's your property, but they think it's theirs, then you go to your title
We
company
went
and
to our,
say.
so it's funny because we contacted our lawyer, we went to our title company and they're like, hey, listen, the survey that was on there when you guys did the closing on the house and everything, that's your property line. So our neighbors came out and they showed us their survey. When we did the measurements, it's, what was it, 100 feet? Or 6 feet or something like that? Crossing each other's-
106 is
Eight-
totally different.
8 feet, sorry.
8 feet.
Don't quote me
So
on
we
that.
moved the fence in 8 feet from where it was. We had the fence company come back and we moved it in and they were
Because
happy with
you
it.
guys also closed the survey on us, saying that it was within the property lines and everything like that. The neighbors came out, they're like, no, you're on our property line, the stakes are there. And I'm like, I called the company, I'm like, move the fence. I'm like, I don't know if I'm on their line, I'm not on their line. I'm like, so it's been a mess up on 9 Barry Drive, I have to tell you.
I had a walking wheel and we were looking for a medallion in the woods where multiple trees have fallen and
Yeah.
we couldn't find the
There
medallion.
might actually be an issue with your two descriptions.
Yeah.
For the description that's in your deed versus the description that's in your neighbor's deed, there might be some overlap.
Oh, yeah, they 100,
Well, so-
you can look
So
at
do
it.
the descriptions
We did the
overlap?
measurement.
And then
Yeah.
that's an issue I would go to the title company about.
Yeah, it's a title company issue.
So our title and their title?
Yeah, because I would tell them that your neighbors asked you to move your fence. That's the title company should defend the information that they
Yeah,
have.
well, we moved it because I don't want an issue.
No, I know you,
Yeah,
I know you
like-
did that, but you still, if it's your property, you should have the use and right to your property.
Right,
So,
rightfully so.
I'd go back
but,
to your
like,
title
To me, it's just
company.
I'm trying to do the right thing because, we've heard when we bought from the people we bought from, like, no one in our neighborhood liked the people we bought from. So we're like, we're not here to cause a headache with anyone. We're just trying to figure it out. So now this is coming up with the shed. So we're like, what's happening here? Because that was never brought up to us either.
Yeah,
How long have you been living there?
We just moved up here in
2022?
21,
21.
March.
All right,
Right after
I'd go back
pandemic.
to your title company and let them,
sort it out.
Sort
Yeah,
it
but again,
out.
getting back to your application, I would need a survey that whatever you're using, because I need to know where where the various things are.
My 600-foot garage.
I mean, so basically you said that.
say that again, what?
I have a 600-square-foot garage. It'd be in there.
No, but again, you were going to use the shed for something,
So
and the shed might be in a different
If the
location.
shed is in a flood zone, then I will hold off on not doing Cerakoting until we can figure out that matter
Again,
of it.
All right, but I think what Aziz is getting at is when we
The
look.
FFL 7 will allow me to do that in the future if the shed meets the town's approval as far as where it needs to be, or if it doesn't, then I can't do Cerakoting there.
Okay, but part of our consideration of this is really, what are you looking to do? What are the
So what
business
I-
components that you're looking to do? But back up for 1 second, please.
Sorry.
Are you looking to do this full-time, or is this a hobby? What is this?
So I'm looking to see if it gains traction. Right now, I have traction as far as people interested in having me do these things. It's all contingent on getting the FFL, but I have been doing this since I was about 8 years old.
But didn't answer my question.
Go ahead.
Is it a hobby, or is it something that you are looking to do full-time?
I'm looking to do this full-time.
Okay, so if you are a business person operating a business, why would a person on 82 who has the gun shop out there, why would he think that this is a good idea? Why wouldn't he say you should have the same overhead expense that he has?
So my thing is it's a niche market. So the customizations that I do, not a lot of people are going to do. Like if you bring, say, your said rifle, or you want to have something built by collectors, they're going to try and sell you a pre-built rifle because they don't have the time to do it. So, and if they do, your waiting times are going to be a lot longer. So if you come to me where I can be more one-on-one with you and we can build something, I can focus on what I'm building for you. So therefore, you are my main objective, and then I get that done, and your turnaround is faster. Same thing with any kind of cleanings, any kind of scope mountings, you want triggers done, barrels done, anything like that. I'm not going to be selling accessories, and any of the parts that I put on will be pre-manufactured parts that I will get from a dealer.
Okay, but you said there were 1,900 FFL licenses
Yes,
or FF
and there's
licenses
1,300 that are
in New
home.
York State.
Yes.
And so there's 62 counties, right? That's 300 per county if they were evenly distributed. So if there's 300 businesses like this in Dutchess County,
No, not in Dutchess County.
I'm
New York
not
State.
saying that there are, I'm just using
Okay.
general numbers, okay? I'm trying to understand the niche that you're talking about.
I got you.
All right? Why do we need this business here as opposed to, is there another opportunity for the people who need this service to go somewhere else?
As of right now, there's one person, the one person that I know that does it in Fishkill of Cerakoting, and he does it on the side as well. But there also is another home-based FFL in our county, in my zoning circle, and right down the street. I can give you their FFL number if you'd like. I have it in a piece of paper right here. What I'm looking to do is to see if the business will gain traction before I leave my current business, which is I work in IATSE Local 52 in New York City. So I do film and TVs, and one of the things that falls under my coverage is prop guns and things like that. So what I'm looking to do is take my love for what I have been doing with my own and helping out friends and turn that into a business where if it does gain the traction, I believe it will in the next year, I will look for a brick and mortar and move it from my home into an actual shop.
Okay, go ahead.
You currently have an FFL license?
I do not.
He does
You do
not.
not
That's
have your
what-
FFL license.
Right.
So your FFL license is not, from what I'm hearing correctly, once you apply for it, and if it gets approved, it's not going to be for the purchase and sale of guns.
No.
Right. So it's just going to be for restoration?
It will be for restoration and custom builds. So, and the guns, again, will not be transferred from my home. You won't come to my house. I will bring them to Scotty at Collectors, or I will bring them down to Westchester, and if someone lives there, or I will send them to the FFL of their choosing, and that's where they will do their NIC paperwork and take the guns from there. There will be no inventory at my house except for whatever I'm working on, and then again, it will go away.
So I do know people that have FFL licenses that do not buy or sell guns. They mainly deal with either collector items or repairing guns. So there is a little niche market for that. And FFL license is not easy to get. So that's why there's not a lot of them.
Well, there's 1,900 in the state, he said, so there are a lot, but they're, okay, so the issue is whether this meets the definition of professional office.
Right.
Okay, which Matt sent you a letter that said it does not, and so that's.
Well, and again, like I'm saying, in my zoning circle, 0.8 miles away from my house is Pro Elite Firearms. FFL number 6-14-027-1-3F FF-02494. And that was approved 6 years ago by this town and has been renewed 3 times. I spoke with the ATF officer that I had spoken with, and I've spoken with the FFL owner of that over on Harrington Trail. And they said that they did go through a lot of hassle to get it, and they approved them to do online sales only. So now I spoke with my ATF agent, and my ATF agent said that unlike his, we can't call the town because we cannot get involved in town politics. The ATF agent said, I approve home-based FFLs all the time, and the zoning board is usually the only issue that they run across.
Right.
He said, but what you're basically looking to do is not keep an inventory. So he said, well, are you willing to negotiate with them or compromise with them? And I said, absolutely. So I said, no display cases, no inventory, will be minimal of, I don't know how many people's guns are going to want to get cleaned or firearms are going to be wanted to get modified at a single time. I can't imagine more than maybe 3 to 5 that I would have in my possession at any time, but again, they would be logged, and they would be logged out. So you would have the serial number, the address. If it was a handgun, it would be the permit number and everything like that. So there will be a paper trail that the ATF holds me personally responsible for. So at the end of the day, if anything, God forbid, happens to any of those things, that's on me.
All right, so your FFL is going to give you the authority to store a firearm?
Yes.
Or right, well, you
And work on it.
firearms or just rifles?
It would be handguns or it would be rifles.
Handguns and rifles?
Yes.
Okay, so your FFL will be specific in regards to storing them, but not transferring them?
No, an FFL 7 allows you, it's a manufacturer, so I can build, and then I can transfer, and I can buy, and I can sell. But what I'm telling you guys is if we have to do a, if we're going to compromise, if there's a compromise that you guys are willing to do, I will not do any sales or transfers in the home. The transfers will be done to the FFL of their choosing. I will not transfer or hand off or do NIC paperwork to hand off guns in my home. If somebody comes in for a cleaning, we can meet over at the police station. They can give it to me. I will take down their information, copies of their license, copies of their permits, things like that. I will do that into my logbook. And then when it's done, I will meet them back at said police station, and I can transfer it back to them.
But the license allows him to do it. And so then it becomes the burden on the town to enforce that. I do have one question.
Go ahead.
When you are cleaning a gun, working on a gun, where do you test it?
Test, oh.
Where do you test it? I mean, are you
I go to-
firing arms at your house?
In my house? No.
Not in your house, in the shed that you're talking about.
No, the work
How do you
will be,
test a
the
gun
work will
after
be
you've worked on
done in my garage. So my garage will be my work area.
Okay, not this shed that you talked about?
No, the shed I would just use to spray. I don't want to spray that in my garage. So I would spray it in the ventilated shed, and then it makes it easier. All the work will be done in my climate-controlled garage that's in my house.
Okay, but how do you test it after you've worked on it?
Bring it to Waterkill Gun Club.
Okay.
I would never shoot, I wouldn't shoot a 22 to kill a groundhog in the back of my house. I'm sure not going to shoot a 7mm PRC in the back of my house.
Yeah, you're not allowed to discharge a
Well,
firearm.
no, you're not, but you have to ask the question.
Oh, if you want to know how I make sure that it functions, I have dummy rounds that I put in to make sure that the shell will extract from the
Okay.
firearm. But as far as shooting it, if I'm going to sight in a rifle, which I had done today, I did at Waterkill Gun Club,
Okay.
or there at Blue Mountain.
Yeah, now the thing is, I've been on this board for over 5 years or 6 years, and I don't remember seeing an application.
You've been on a lot longer than that.
I know.
Because I've been on this board for 15 years now, and you've been here longer than me.
Correct. I don't want to age myself, but anyway. But I don't remember seeing a
Nobody
similar.
came through this board.
So how did that homeowner get the permission?
So I think too, what I was going to suggest, I think the homeowner or the applicant submitted a FOIL request. I'm assuming it was for the property that you mentioned with the FFL, is that
Yes.
correct? So once we get whatever documents we have from that, we'll obviously share with the applicant and also with the board to see what happened there.
Yeah, because we'd be curious
Because
what
ATF would
board
never
approved it.
give them that without approval of the zoning board. It's literally illegal. They would be able to sue him.
And then you
So-
said he gets approval every 2 years.
Every 3 years, you have to reapply for your FFL.
FFL, yeah.
No, we would have seen I mean, the only thing we see every couple of years is the mining permit, the Jackson mining. you know.
Have you done a FOIA
Once it's approved,
request?
the ATF approves it every 3 years.
You did a FOIA request with the federal government? Because the Freedom of Information Law request is with this level of government, but the FOIA request would be with the federal government in case you wanted to see what their application actually included.
What I did for the request that I made yesterday was to find out any special permits that were given to that address, to find out who signed off on it so that we can know who signed off on it.
So I think we're in agreement on that's for any documents for here. What I'm talking about is any documents that were submitted to the ATF previously as
No,
part of
I
that.
didn't apply for anything for the ATF.
No, I'm making a different point.
Okay.
So did you ever, it's not necessarily applying, it's just, did you submit the papers for Freedom of Information Act, which is under the federal government, request for any documents that the other property you're talking about actually submitted to the ATF? So we can see, I don't know if there's a letter or something that would
I've
be in there.
submitted an application to the ATF for the FFL, and they've wanted to come to my house to do an interview as of 2 days
But
ago.
you're not answering his question.
No, I haven't done that.
Well, you might want to do that too, to see if there are any sort of documents or any letters that came from the town that were submitted somehow from here to.
Yeah, but they looked it up and said that it was, everything was on the up and up. like-
No. I'm talking about documents specifically. I'm not saying that they didn't get it. I'm talking about whatever sort of documents were part of that file that led to that approval. You might want to submit.
He said that when I had spoken with the homeowner or the owner of that FFL, he said that he had to do an online gun sales only was the stipulation for him. Now, with that, that just means that anything that I sell has to be done online. I can't do in-person sales, which is fine, and I'm not looking to do that anyway.
But you are looking to do online sales?
No, I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
So when somebody wants a.
Sorry, you're kind of talking in circles a bit.
No, I just
Not
feel like-
answering the questions that we're asking, so that's why it's getting really confusing.
So this is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to build custom firearms as well as modify current builds that were made from the manufacturer. I want to be able to clean them. I want to be able to add a scope to them. I will not do the Cerakoting portion of it right now because there's an issue with the shed. That's perfectly fine. If somebody wants to get something done by me that lives in another state, they can mail it to my house through an FFL. The FFL will do an FFL to FFL transfer. That will come directly to me in a adult signature required FedEx box, and it will leave from me in an adult signature required FedEx box. I will then do what is asked of me on the sheet, as long as it meets their state verifications and their state laws, as well as send that back. And then if it's something that they want custom built from scratch, that's why I need an FFL 7, because anytime you put an upper and a lower together, you are now the manufacturer of that firearm, even though it has pre-existing serial numbers on it. So the ATF will not allow me to call it a business. I can go to Collectors and buy a lower, and I can go to Collectors or anywhere and have an upper shipped right to my house legally. And once I put those together, that's manufacturing a firearm. Now, once I do that and I call myself a business, I need to have an FFL. If I call myself just in my garage, I don't need an FFL. But to pursue this
But
as
for
a
you to do it
business,
for somebody else,
if I do this for somebody else for profit, then yes, I need an FFL to do it. If I'm going to promote
so
myself
now we're talking
as a
about
business.
manufacturing as well as,
But you're thinking
hasn't been
manufacturing like a lathe and building,
All the prior documentation plus the lawyer's letter that was written,
doesn't have any of this.
nothing meshes.
No, I know.
It doesn't
That
mesh
lawyer letter
because-
was very confusing.
so this is the thing. I asked from the very beginning when I came in here over a year ago, just to speak with someone. That's all I wanted, to go over everything. And instead I was met with, our lawyer won't talk to you, we'll only talk to an attorney. So I went and got myself an attorney. My attorney contacted your attorney for over 8 months without a reply. So then when I went in to talk to Jeanine,
Jeannie.
town board,
Jeannie.
I went to go speak with her. I was met with, our attorney has tried to reach your attorney multiple times and they haven't responded. I said, that's false. We actually called him on the phone and put him on speakerphone. And Andrew Romano talked to her upstairs and he said, I have everything documented that I've reached out to Thomas Wood over the last year and he has only responded twice and not to discuss anything to do with my case. I really feel like that I've gotten the runaround, and I understand that you're telling me that things don't mesh with this, but it's like every time that I've come in to get something done, I have to change my story to try and make it fit something that you might agree with. Now, all I'm trying to do is, I'm gonna leave a six-figure job to start this because this is what I love to do. Whether I'm going to do it in Hopewell Junction or I'm going to sell my house in the next 3 months and move somewhere else where I can do this, that's totally up to whatever happens tonight or what happens in the next month. I would like to stay here because I like this town. I grew up in Wappingers. I grew up in Pine Bush. My parents have lived there forever. If you're worried about any kind of gun violence, then I can assure you that that will never happen under my watch, because I had to sit there in a trial last week while the man who murdered my aunt and uncle got 40 years to life. So I'm not trying to do anything malicious in this town, but to do something that I'm very passionate about. And everything that I've dealt with in the last year between the town, the lawyer, everybody not wanting to help and saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, when I can drive over here and I can look at the FFLwebsite.com and see that there is one here. So they've been approved. And if Hopewell Junction doesn't approve FFLs, you have collectors, you have the other ones that have been here, and they might not have done it the right way, but I can guarantee you, you have nothing to worry about out of 9 Barrett Drive, anything malicious or anything like that, just a guy that loves doing what he does, and he's good at it.
Okay. Take a deep breath.
I'm fine.
Now, let me explain our side of things.
Go ahead.
Same as you heard with the detached garage, okay? When you come in, it's not just your current use of this property, okay? It's any other use, any future owner of this property, if we approve this at this location, then allows, and who knows, you might expand, this might take off, and suddenly you are doing these things that you told us you were not going to do. Then what do we do? All right, but it also requires an interpretation of this board to look at what the code allows, and if we open the door or a crack to let this use in, that includes manufacturing, that potentially could include retail sales, that could include the power coating or whatever, I'm using the wrong words.
Cerakote.
You know, then the next person who wants to do something slightly different is going to be in the door saying, well, you allowed it for this one. That's what this board has to look at. Why you? Why is your circumstance so different, so unique, that it makes sense? Why do you have no other options that it makes sense? I'm not sure that you have no other options, first off, okay? Because again, the first option in my mind is go get a local store and do something in a commercially zoned space. Not that you need the overhead or anything like that. And again, that's why I was asking, is it a full-time business or is it a hobby? It sounds like right now it's a hobby, okay? But you are looking to grow it into a full-time business. There's a difference between doing a hobby in your house and doing a real full-time business in your house, okay? And that's what this board has to look at. The code allows for professional offices, very specific about what professional offices. I'm assuming you got the letter that the
Yes,
the
and
building
then I came
department
in
sent
to
to you.
do an amendment on the house or whatever it's called to make it an accessory.
Okay, I don't know which one it is.
That's just one piece of it.
That's just one piece of it, but the examples that were given were like doctor's office,
Yeah,
mortuary, and a crematory. I'm
properly
not burning
certified
bodies in my house.
or licensed psychologist, social worker, lawyer, engineer, planner, architect, accountant, teacher, or other similar professional person.
But there's one in your town already.
Okay,
There's no way it got approved
So,
without your
but
approval.
again, keep it to your application, please, because
Okay.
we don't, you've heard, none of us know anything about other applications.
I know, I've
It's never
heard
come
that
to
all
this
year long,
board.
too, from the attorneys, and nobody's gone and looked into it. So it must not be that big of a matter.
Okay, so,
We've known about it since January.
I just like,
Please, you may be talking about the town, but you're talking
No,
to
not
this
you
board.
personally, not you personally.
oh, so just a few, so first off, I want to say, I'm sorry about your aunt and uncle before I say the other things, just want to acknowledge, sorry about that. We're the lawyers, we are not Tom Wood. I know Tom to be very professional, I don't know Mr. Romano, so, but I think there's a dispute about communication, so I'm just putting that into the record. I'm suggesting you make a Freedom of Information Act request, that's to the federal government, because I know what you're saying is there's another person in town who you say is not far from you who got the federal firearms license. Off the cuff right now, none of us have any recollection of this, we don't know about it. the federal government will have its own set of documents outside of the town. You already made the Freedom of Information Law FOIL request to the town, so you'll get those documents once they're compiled. The board will also get those documents. So I think when you're trying to make your application, I think too, you might have to revise your narrative a bit, because I think we've heard a lot of different uses, well, I could do this and I could do that, but maybe I won't do this at first. I think you need to come in, even if it's a bullet point list of, here's what I want to do.
I've said it in multiple...
No, I know, that's, I think, part of the problem. There's been a lot said over the past half hour, and I think everyone's a little confused about where exactly we're going.
I think that's because I don't think anybody actually understands about the firearm business. What I'm trying to say is, if I'm doing gunsmithing, which is one of the things that's on this letter, gunsmithing, you can see it. Gunsmithing is anything to do with cleaning the firearm, demodifying the firearm, or anything like that.
I think we get that.
Okay.
I don't
so
mean to be
if
disrespectful,
you're
but it-
telling me with the shed that I can't do Cerakoting, then that's one portion of the business I won't do. I'm not looking to sell guns per se as a display case. If someone contacts me and says, I want a custom 6.5 Creedmoor rifle built, that I can do and transfer it to their FFL.
All right.
I need
I'm going to interrupt you because you are repeating yourself. You've gone through this. I
I've been
think we
repeating myself
understand.
for a year.
No. Okay, I have a question. Right now, looking at our town code, there is no mention of gunsmithing in our code. So therefore, we need to figure out what we are dealing with at this point. And I don't think I have enough information for this application to go forward. So my suggestion is to talk to your attorney about the FOIA request, which is he or she will be able to help you out there, and then get your documents and say, okay, this town of Hopewell Junction, East Fishkill did A, B, C, D, and I want to do A, B, C, D. Right now, I have, and again, whether it's online or in person, I've been on this board for more than 6 years, and I haven't seen it. Okay, that's why that's why I raised the issue that I've been on this board, and if it had come before us, we would have had an interpretation of what a gunsmith is.
Well, I would like to ask, why is it on the town record when I pull up their, you go onto the town and you pull up their address, it shows no record found. That's weird, because I could pull up every permit online of what's in my house, but there's 2 businesses out of that house and there's nothing there. Make that make sense?
I don't even know what you meant by what
There's
you
2
just said.
businesses out of the same house, and you can't pull up anything on the town record of that address. It says no files found.
I
But you
don't
can pull
know,
online.
I don't,
I don't
what
even know.
website is that?
If you go into the town and you can pull where you can pull up the address.
What website?
Huh?
What website? I'm just saying it, I'm just confused, I don't know. what's-
I'm really confused. Are you talking about parcel access, which is the
Yeah.
county database?
Yeah, there's nothing on
That's not the
that.
town's record.
Okay, so there's nothing on that thing, but you can pull up everything that's at my house. And that one shows absolutely nothing.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to figure out.
I don't know, none of us control the
That's all the
county
more
database.
showing me that it wasn't approved by this
We're
board.
trying to focus on his application.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, we're kind of going off the topic.
The reason that we're looking at this other application that he keeps bringing up is because if we can see the means that got its approval, assuming it did get local approvals, then we can see the means that this board,
Right.
then we're not setting a precedent, then we're looking at the pattern that was already established for approval. That's what we would be looking to use, because then it's much easier for us to do that as opposed to doing something that's never been done before and opening the door for anybody else.
And that's why, exactly, it's just, do the freedom of, please, I think it's in your own interest, you look up the Freedom of Information Act request, that's to the federal government, the ATF's a federal agency, and you could see whatever documents they have there as well.
Right, for that
Because
other
even if
license.
any of us here, I might have been the only staff member here who was here 6 years ago. Even if any of us, I don't remember touching it, it's just out of the blue right now. So none of us are going to be able to say exactly what happened right now with that. We know you filed the FOIA request, we'll fulfill it, this board will get the documents, you'll get the documents, and we can move forward.
We're not saying we don't want to consider this.
The thing with
Hold
me
on.
is, and I'm
Please
sorry that,
listen.
okay, go ahead.
Please listen, okay. We're not saying we don't want to consider this, we're just, we're looking at all of the different avenues of what we'd have to consider. And so if you can show us that one's been approved already, show us how. Because it's not information that's any of us are aware of. And so if we can see how some other business got approved, we can hang our hat on that and say, okay, it's been done before.
Exactly.
But if we can't, your speculation to us that is, well, it's been done, so why can't we just do it? That's not how we work, okay? We have to be really careful about setting a precedent that opens the door for some other nuance of a business that's not allowed, not professional, et cetera. So we're not saying that we don't want to do this, we're not saying we don't want to consider it. I just think we all need some more information. All right?
And I could have, I'll just end it with this. I wish that somebody had talked to me during this whole entire year, almost 13 months, of trying to meet with someone, because I would have come in here with exactly what they were looking for. But they've made it so completely vague of what they wanted, and you want to open up a gun store. Oh, God, you're going to be selling guns. That's not what I want to do. The last thing I want to do is have a display case in my house and have a whole arsenal of stuff for sale and make myself a target. And I had spoken with Jackie on the phone when I said, if it goes forward, I have to put a sign outside of my house, and it has to go into the newspaper. I said, if you're so worried about...
You have to, or would the town allow you to?
No, the town has to put it in a newspaper, I think, for...
Oh, you mean advertising?
for our public hearing,
Yeah, that's part of the code, yeah.
No,
Every application has.
And I was like, if you're worried about it, now we're going to put that in the newspaper. And she goes, well, we have to. And I said, that's fine.
But that would be, like, a sign would be up for 20 days.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not for
I like
ever.
my dead end.
Okay.
But I don't mean to come in here and act frustrated towards you guys, because I'm not. This is the first time I've ever meeting you guys. Again, over here as well. There hasn't been really any communication or direction or solid answer on, like, hey, listen, we don't want you to do this. What else could you do, or anything like that?
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm trying to come up with something so that I can get it and it meets what you want. I figured if I did the Cerakoting, it may make it a little bit easier, adding that to the repertoire of things that I was looking to do, since I wasn't going to do the firearms sales portion of it, because that would give me some more business, because there's not a lot of places around here that do that. And if I can't do that in the shed, then I won't do that in the shed.
Well, again, you need to show us your property to show us the floodplain, because if you've got a floodplain,
and if it doesn't work...
if you want to put anything in that floodplain, you're going to need a permit, so that's...
So, and we may have to get rid of that and move the shed if it does fall in there. But as far as the other things, like, I was willing to I'm willing to compromise to be able to start it up. And you said, well, if we let you do this, what if you get big and then you start doing Cerakoting and things like that? I already been in talks with investors. If I do get to a part where I need a brick and mortar, what I'm looking to do with this business is to start out. In the next year or so, we're going to branch out into EP security. We're going to be doing NRA trainings for CCWs. Then we will need a brick and mortar. Then we will move this to that brick and mortar, and then they will be involved in there, because safety is going to be our biggest thing. And that will be a portion of it where it's a range at somewhere in New York, not necessarily here because it's too many and not enough property. But that is what our overall goal is for the company. It's not to stay in my garage fixing
Okay,
guns.
all right, that helps, but it's, again,
know.
it's...
But that's what it is.
We've had other businesses that have started in their garages, and they've grown big enough, Sparrow's Nest being one of them, that have grown big enough and went to the bricks and mortar, so I get that part of it, but let's understand how this other one got its approval, or if it even has approvals, just to be sure, and then...
So that's why I'm saying, the Freedom of Information Act, and I'm only repeating the act part because it's a different sort of request, and you made a Freedom of Information law request to the town today, and that was valid, we're going to fulfill it. I would also look to the federal government, and that's the Freedom of Information Act request.
Would the county have any records? Does he need to go to the county?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
there
just
would...
thinking the sheriff's department,
If it's the Freedom of Information Act, you could talk to whatever ATF agent you're dealing with, and you could ask them if there's a specific place that they want, that you can submit it. It's overall for any federal agency, you submit for their records under the Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah, ATF should have that information. ATF would have that information because they're renewing it every 3 years, so they would have complete documentation.
The letter, I don't know if they would have, because the letter was
Because they're
from so long
renewing it
ago.
every few years.
So you might as well, there's no harm in filing the FOIA request with them. They'll give you whatever they have, just the same.
So I guess, do you want to come back next month or in a couple of months?
I can come back next month. I'll be back from Miami by then.
Okay, as long as you can have the information. If anything you can add to this conversation, then we can review it, but if you don't have that information, then you'll be in the same situation. So my suggestion is you might not get the request within 30 days, from my experience. So I would suggest coming back in May, because, I mean, if you can get it by April, great. Otherwise, it'll be.
So how do I request
What
that?
you can do is, if you gets to be, our meeting is,
You can remain on the April
April
agenda.
28th.
If you got nothing else to add, you can ask for an adjournment, and your application's still active, you just get adjourned.
Okay.
You don't have to
Right.
come back and
so we'll leave you on the agenda, and if you have no new information, then you just call Jackie and just say, listen, I'm still waiting, I haven't gotten the other information that the board requested, and then she'll just postpone you till May.
Okay.
All right? This
So
way we
you
keep-
want a more concrete also of what I'm looking to do and not so broad?
It's not up to us to tell you what we would approve, it's up to you to tell us what you want to do, now or in the future, in this property.
Okay.
And then it's up, the board makes a decision based on that. But we still have to, your base inquiry here is for us to make an interpretation of the building inspector's report, or his letter to you, his interpretation. So we still have to do our work about whether this meets, the professional definition and home business definition, all of that, but it would help for us to see how that other business was approved for our role.
So based on what I'm looking to, you just want a more defined version, not what you're looking for?
What you're looking to do there.
Okay, that's fine. I can get
Okay.
you that. Yep.
Just, and if you read your attorney's letter, sometimes it says my, and sometimes it's his, and
I
it's
believe
like
that-
all over the place, so it's
I'm not going to lie to you, I think that letter that he sent, he revised a little bit, but
Did
it's
he?
what I wrote to him, and he sent it to you guys.
I agree, because the
So-
way it was written was,
Yeah, that's half blamed on Apple, the way that they pick up from Siri, how you
Yeah.
talk to them.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right.
wasn't clear.
Okay, thank
See
you.
you next month.
Next month.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm sorry I got a little work done.
Yeah, it's
been a
understandable,
year.
but, just FYI, when we ask questions, please answer the questions, too. That would be really helpful.
You said.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.